Hi, welcome to Jefferson reads the newspaper. I'm pretty fucking stressed out today, so I may get angrier at the news than usual, which I know is funny to say considering how angry I usually get at the news. But I just have a feeling my nerves are a bit raw, and I have a feeling that reading the news when you're in a bad mood already probably is going to set me off. So that's fair warning at the beginning of this, like a BBC Radio 1 Essential Mix. If you're easily offended, please find something else to watch on YouTube. I'll say that at the top of the show, and actually I think I'm going to start saying that every day. If you're easily offended, please find something else to watch. Not that I think I say things that are particularly offensive, but people seem to be offended pretty easily these days. And I'm going to fucking lose my temper at the news today. I am pretty confident of that. What else? Oh, we are presented by SaturaVeritas. Stay tuned. We'll be launching our SaturaVeritas and I are going to be launching the consumer grade AI on January 9th. I'm pretty excited about it. We're putting the finishing touches on the beta website. The beta website will only be available to alphas. So if you're an alpha male or alpha female, then you will be allowed to test the beta website. But if you're not an alpha, if you're a beta, get the fuck out. You're a beta and you don't deserve to test our beta website. Also, not sponsored by Juul. Maybe will calm me down. And check out my mug. I think I've shown this before, but after Christmas break, maybe SaturaVeritas. My co-CEO got it for me. Not my boss. I don't know why I keep saying that. They are my co-CEO. Well, sometimes I don't really feel like it, I have to be honest. Anyway, all right, let's read the news. As school lockdowns surge, emotional toll soars. More than 4 million children endured such events last school year. Many were left traumatized. What about the fucking kids like me who went through the DC sniper, and every single fucking day of 7th grade we had to hide under our desks and stay away from doorways, and they had to put paper over all the windows. Do I get any emotional traumatization sympathy? I don't want it. I figured it out. The sniper wasn't in a white van. That's what I know. That's all I know about that case. And they demonized plumbers for fucking like a year and a half. And all these people driving white vans, I remember people had signs in the back of their white vans that said, "I'm not the sniper, I've been pulled over 100 times." Or they have tallies and shit. A struggle to keep faith in Alabama. A millionaire paid Jews to move to a small town. For one couple from New York, regret is seeping in. Lisa, why is this front page news, Washington Post? Who the fuck cares? The fucking orange Cheeto literally gave away the location of like a SEAL team, and they're probably all gonna get killed now. And we're talking about Jews in Alabama? No offense, but Jesus Christ. Who cares? Japan grew wide criticism with its decision to exit a global conservation body and resume commercial whaling. I thought they've been commercial whaling for a while. Isn't that what that fat idiot guy that throws butter at them was complaining about? All right, here's my question about whaling. I have 5 questions. 1, can you fish for whales that aren't endangered? Actually, let me rephrase. Are there any whales that aren't endangered? 2, does whale taste good? If we're going to be fishing for whales or whaling, does whale meat taste good? If whale meat doesn't taste good, this is stupid, in my opinion. But then I guess maybe it's an acquired taste. In which case, why do we need so many whales? Like, if whaling is that good that Japan, if whale meat is that good that Japan is like, we gotta fucking get some whales, then I'm curious. I want to try whale meat. Maybe I'll go to Iceland or Norway. I feel like they still whale as well. But everyone just hates Japan more because they're not white. Highly disturbing. A billionaire apologized for funding a group linked to the spread of disinformation in an Alabama election. A12. Let's see that. More Bama news. You know I like Alabama news, unless it's... Oh, maybe I don't. He says he was unaware of effort to undermine Senate candidate Moore. He does not need to apologize for anything. Moore was a pedophile. Fuck it, everyone. We stole elections all over the country, but you funded a dark money group to undermine our pedophile candidate in Alabama. Where Republicans were such crybabies. Stop pointing out that we stole elections all over the country. Stop telling us that we did illegal things with mail-in ballots in North Carolina. You're billionaires, Democratic billionaires. I heard that they funded a dark money group to stop our pedophile candidate in Alabama. It's despicable what the Democrats are doing. The Democrats are despicable. Oh my Lord. How can they fund a dark money group to stop a pedophile candidate? All we doing as Republicans is fucking doing lots of illegal things, gerrymandering, and trying to take colored people's right to vote away. And yes, in the Republican Party, we still say colored people because we're racist. We don't want you to know we're racist, but Republicans, we're racist. That's kind of our party platform. Listen to our president. I don't know why my accent changed 10 times doing that rant. But I warned you at the beginning, the news today was likely to set me off. And all I had to reread was the headline on that one. A Democratic billionaire had to apologize for funding a dark money group opposing Roy Moore. Don't apologize, Mr. Billionaire. Just don't apologize. The Republicans are doing way worse shit. I don't give a shit if a Democratic billionaire funded a dark money group to stop a pedophile in Alabama, okay? So Republicans, can you just shut the fuck up once in a while? Y'all are doing illegal shit all over the country with voting laws, and you're making this poor billionaire apologize? Man, what a poor guy. He only has billions of dollars. I didn't even look at who it was, by the way. Ba-ba-ba. Man, I really lost my fucking shit on that one. Okay. Early numbers on holiday shopping have industry on track to break records. Oh, wow. The economy is saved. People are consuming. Speaking of which, if you want to consume more, go to SaturaVeritas.com, click on the spend button, and pretty soon we're going to have a lot of products for you to spend money on, including products that are completely pointless. Well, I guess most products are. Santa Claus has come to town, and to your mall, and to your phone, and to your computer, and to your tablet, and to your email. A little too repetitive there, Rachel Siegel. It's too soon to fully capture holiday retail sales through the end of the year, but a wave of post-Christmas data puts the industry on track to meet record-breaking expectations. On Wednesday, MasterCard Spending Pulse, which tracks retail spending trends, said holiday sales had seen the strongest growth in the past 6 years, surging 5.1% to more than 850 billion. Who the fuck cares? I don't care. Oh, look at us. Jewel, baby. I've already done enough Jewel ad analysis, and I've already seen this Jewel ad. Jesus, this Jewish Alabama article, which is a front page article. I'm not sure. They struggle to keep faith in Alabama. So apparently some millionaire paid a bunch of Jews to move to Alabama. And now the Jews in Alabama are like, yeah, we don't want to be here. Not surprising. Last time I checked, Alabama still had a sizable anti-Semitic population. So I can imagine it's probably hard for these Jews. I just don't. I have trouble getting excited about religion, I guess. Trump First Lady visit U.S. troops at air base in Iraq. Yeah, and then he fucking ousted some Navy SEALs who are now probably going to be killed. Because OPSEC, look up OPSEC on Wikipedia. Operational security. If you have any military in your family, you know that OPSEC, well, I guess if you have any special forces military in your family, you know about OPSEC. And it's taken very seriously. They tell you things like, if your family member tells you when they're coming home, you cannot post that date on the internet. If your family member tells you what country they're going to, you cannot post that. You cannot tell anyone at church. And they will cancel missions if you mess that up. But yet the president took a picture of a bunch of Navy SEALs in Iraq and tweeted it, faces and all. And those Navy SEALs now are either... let me just say this. Taxpayers spent probably $10 to $15 million training each of those Navy SEALs because of the level of training that goes into a Special Forces soldier. And those Navy SEALs, because of the fucking dumb orange baboon who is president, now probably can never go on another mission again because their operational security has been so compromised. Their faces were tweeted by one of the most looked at Twitter accounts in the world. And whatever mission they were on in Iraq is definitely a failure because whoever can just look at that tweet and see who the fucking Navy SEALs were. Anyway, I'm not like a warmonger, I don't think, but like keeping soldiers safe, like, isn't that what the Republicans, isn't that like their number one shit? And I don't understand. I don't understand cults of personality because I don't like people particularly. So I've never fallen into a cult of personality. Except for, who's Andy Bernard on Parks and Rec? Yeah, if he started a cult, I'd join because it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. For asylum seekers, deportation can mean death. Oh, jeez, that's sad. Fuck. I can't. Without journalists, you might think these are fireworks. How about this Washington Post? Without fucking a color picture, I can't tell what this is at all. What is this? It's really hard to see whatever this is. It's a guy wearing a gas mask. Maybe. Could be a scene out of a Hitchcock movie or like Third Encounter of the Third Kind or whatever. But yeah, this is a horrible ad. I support journalists though. Always. You know what no one talks about? That people always say journalists are the first to get arrested when shit takes over. Aren't comedians actually? Maybe it's journalists. Maybe it's journalists and comedians. Maybe it's actually journalists. I think I'm wrong on this. I could use some peanut M&Ms. Stop messing with the market. Amid turbulence, Mr. Trump should be exuding calm, not chaos. Thanks, dipshit. The president shouldn't be exuding chaos? Wow, where do you figure that one out? You must have graduated kindergarten, fucking idiots. Why am I so angry today? I guess I did warn at the beginning that I was going to be angry. Whoa, that's cool. A complex network of airways helped armored dinosaurs keep a cool head. I've always been a fan of the armored dinosaurs. The late Cretaceous period, which ended 66 million years ago, was a rough and tumble time, and dinosaurs like Ankylosaurus adapted to the brutishness. Ankylosaurus is my fucking favorite dinosaur. Adapted to the brutishness with armor. Spikes sprouted from their shoulders, row after row of bony plates covered their backs with low and well-protected bulks, tipping the scales at a ton or more. They were built like battle tanks. Their heads, in contrast to their backs, were simple. Other dinosaurs have ornate frills and crests or jaws full of banana-sized teeth, but the armored dinosaurs had small, boxy heads. Even dinosaur fans don't usually think much about these skulls, said Jason M. Bork, a vertebrate paleontologist at the New York Institute of Technology. But at least they hadn't until some of Burke's colleagues, led by Lawrence M. Whitmer at Ohio University, digitally pried open an ankylosaur skull. What the paleontologists found, according to a study published Wednesday in the journal PLOS One, can explain how these walking tanks avoided boiling their brains under the prehistoric sun. Using a CT scanner, Whitmer tracked long, twisty airways that curled like crazy straws, Burke said. Delicate organs like brains must be kept cool. Neural structures really didn't like undergoing rapid changes in temperature, Burke said. The armored dinosaurs must have been particularly vulnerable. Not only were they bulky, which meant they accumulated lots of body heat, but their smallish brains had a high ratio of surface area to volume, which means the heads could gain or lose heat readily. Cool. Cool. Dinosaurs, cool. Lockdowns of safeguard often terrify children. Of course they do. Let's not fix lockdowns. How about we fix our fucking country and don't allow idiots with hot heads to have assault rifles? Doesn't seem like that crazy of an idea. Hey, gun nuts, I got an idea. Gun nuts. Listen, keep your rifle, keep your shotgun, keep your pistol even. All I'm saying, and I don't like to say a lot, but here's all I'm saying, gun nuts. Could we just stop crazy people from having machine guns? Just listen. And maybe rocket launchers. How about this? Crazy people, hear me out. Crazy people should not have machine guns and rocket launchers. Or assault rifles, which is kind of a machine gun. Let's be honest with each other. So, like, I'm not trying to say that the Constitution was wrong, because I know that will trigger you even more, Mr. Snowflake, or Mrs. Snowflake, or Ms. Snowflake, or Master Snowflake, technically. or they snowflake, whatever pronoun you want, snowflake. How about this? Just crazy people. Let's just make sure crazy people don't get machine guns, okay? Including in the army. Let's make sure that we don't give crazy army people machine guns either. Just an idea. Just an idea. Crazy people, no machine guns. I know it's a crazy idea. I know probably not going to work, but maybe we can try it. I don't know. Jesus. The epic stumble of Lean In. You know what's funny is I actually read Lean In like within a week of it coming out. Because I was, I don't mean that to brag. I very rarely read anything. Me reading the news is probably the most I've read in a long time. But I was in the airport and I had forgotten my book and my iPad was out of batteries. And my phone was running low on battery. And I was like, I need a book for this plane ride. And so I got Lean In from the Hudson News there in Atlanta Airport. And I read it. And I, at the time, thought it was a little elitist. I kind of felt like, Cheryl, I don't know how your ideas to help women are going to translate to the every woman, because your idea for helping get pregnancy parking at Google, if I remember correctly from the book, was like, yeah, so I didn't like walking so far to my office, so I was COO, and so I asked the CEO if they could add a pregnancy parking spot that was closer, and the CEO was like, yeah. And that's how she solved that problem. And I was like, don't know if that's going to work at most jobs that women have, because most jobs that women have are not COO of Google or Facebook, whatever the fuck she's COO of. Who cares? The Lean In movement launched by Facebook chief operating officer, Facebook, by the way. I think she was at Google before that. By Facebook chief operating officer Sheryl Sandberg is officially over. Period. They're calling it. It's over. No more leaning in. You got to lean out. It's like the hokey pokey. Done. Finn. Sheryl Sandberg's brand of self-empowerment feminism has endured waves of criticism ever since her 2013 best-selling book, Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead, became a cultural phenomenon. But in the waning weeks of 2018, a year in which, I just want to say for the record that I have no right to talk about women's movements as a white man, so I do this purely for comedic purposes. So I'm sorry for being sexist. Became a cultural phenomenon. But in the waning weeks of 2018, a year in which Facebook was besieged by high-profile scandals and the Me Too movement continued to train attention on the barriers facing working women, the potency of Sandberg's individualistic motivational mantra has finally eroded. Wow, this is well written. Caitlin Gibson, I love your writing style, Caitlin. I really like it. It feels good to read your sentences. Last month, a blockbuster investigation by the New York Times detailed Facebook's stumbles amid an onslaught of crises, including Sandberg's efforts to distract from the fact that Russians were using the platform to try and influence the 2016 election. So not only is she a piece of shit, but she's also a traitor to the country. I'm going to start saying that. We need to start using the T word more, treason, because there seems to be a lot of treasonous motherfuckers in this country. So we either need to start working on a world government and realize that national sovereignty is obsolete in 2018, or if we're going to all pretend that sovereignty matters, which I think it does, because I don't want to be a part of China or Russia's world government or any other autocratic regime. So, I kind of think Western civilization has some redeeming factors, like freedom of speech, freedom of press, gender equality, at least pushing towards it, versus blatantly saying that the genders are not equal, such as some countries do. So if we're going to value Western society, then borders matter. Not borders. Well, borders. Sovereignty matters. And you can't have sovereignty if you let other countries influence your elections. So, by that train of logic, if you were complicit in Russia influencing the 2016 presidential election, as Facebook was, and Sheryl Sandberg worked to cover it up, then you are a traitor, Sheryl. You are a traitor to this country. Just like the president. God, it feels so good to exercise freedom of speech. Because no one's saying treason. No one. Except for me and that judge in the fucking Michael Flynn case. It's treason. You help another country influence our elections. I guess technically the definition of treason is that we have to be at war with that country. We set up NATO to go against Russia. So we may not be at war with them, but they're definitely not our friends. This is where Mitt Romney was right in the debate with Barack Obama. Russia is still a problem. Mueller probe nearing its end eventually. Anyway, by the way, Caitlin Gibson, I'm going to keep an eye out for your name because I like your writing. The story left Sandberg's long-cultivated image as a righteous feminist icon and relatable role model in shambles. But the final fatal blow to the lean-in brand was a brutally blunt dismissal from Michelle Obama. I tell women that the whole "you can have it all," nope, not at the same time, that's a lie. Obama told a sold-out crowd at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn during a December 1st stop on a tour promoting her memoir. It's not always enough to lean in, because that shit doesn't work all the time. Oh, Michelle. Fuck. To the women who had fallen out of love with Lean In and the women who never loved it at all, these were resounding last words received with relief and recognition. Oh, poor Sheryl. Sheryl. Mr. RBG's Lesson for Your Sons. By Monica Hesse. By the time the character of Marty Ginsburg donned his second apron in the new Ruth Bader Ginsburg biopic, the audience imperative became clear, at least to me. Sure, take your daughters to see On the Basis of Sex, which opened this week, but more importantly, take your sons. Take your sons because it's good for them to see powerful, brilliant women in leading roles, because overhearing a group of teenage fanboys excitingly discuss Brie Larson as Captain Marvel in a coffee shop last week legitimately warmed my irritated holiday season heart. And yes, because yes, RBG is a historic figure, blah, 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 celebrated with action dolls and a signature workout routine, blah, blah. Literally, blah, blah is written. But most importantly, take your sons, because it's important for them to see powerful, brilliant men in partnering roles. And because Marty Ginsburg, who in real life championed his wife's Supreme Court appointment and truly was an excellent cook, is an illustration of a man who understood that his manhood didn't need to be threatened by his wife's success, any more than it needed to be threatened by the testicular cancer he had learned of early in their marriage. After his diagnosis, Ruth doubled up on her class load and typed out his law school papers so he could graduate. He went on to become an esteemed Georgetown professor. She sacrificed for his career, then he did the same for hers. She grew because he fed her literally and spiritually. If there's a through line in the emails that have landed in my inbox this year, it's that men want me to write more about them. But the good things about men, as one reader put it a few months ago. The secret, of course, is that all columns about women are equally columns about men, and vice versa. And all columns about transgender people are in some ways columns about cisgender people, because we all inhabit this earth together, and the friction between us is what ends up shaping who we are. I'm just going to end it right there because that was a perfect sentence. Thank you, Monica Hesse, for warming my cold fucking heart. Yeah. See y'all tomorrow.